Hi class, this is course 3, lesson 1. We're going to cover the number line and comparing and ordering integers. Some vocabulary to write down, or some information to write down. We have 3 different sets of numbers in this first lesson. Counting numbers are the numbers you count by. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Whole numbers are that same set of numbers, but they include the number 0 as well. And integers are all of those numbers, but they also include the opposites of the counting numbers. Notice that each of the elements, that's the numbers in the list, are included in braces, and the 3 dots are ellipses to indicate that the series continues. Notice the integers has 1 on each end because the negative numbers continue to the left. This is just an example of the number line, which I know you're familiar with, but 0 is called the origin. It is neither positive nor negative, okay? Make sure that you know that. It is not positive, it is not negative. The negative numbers go to the left, the positive numbers go to the right. If you wanted to graph one of the numbers, say somebody said graph the number -4. You cannot just put the tick mark there and say -4. To graph a number, you put a point on the number line. More vocabulary for you. Absolute value is the distance a number is from the origin. Okay, we just talked about that. That's 0 on a number line. The distance, the absolute value, is always positive. So if you think about distances, if you're going to drive somewhere, you say it's 10 miles. But to go back from where you were, so say we go from Britt to Kanawha, that distance is not negative if we go from Kanawha to Britt. Okay, so absolute value is a distance, so it's always going to be positive. Absolute value is going to look like this, only better, because it would be straight up and down. There are 2 vertical lines, or bars, with a number in between them. So this says the absolute value of 3, and we need to decide how far away from 0 3 is, and that would be 3. The absolute value of -7, so how far away from 0 is -7? Well, it's 7 units away, but in the left direction. So this is 7. Notice they're both positive answers. Comparison symbols, these are things that you should be aware of, but I want to make sure that you know what they are. This symbol is the less than. And that means the number on the left is less than the number on the right. So like 4 is less than 6. -8 is less than -1. So the numbers on the left, if you look at a number line, the further left it is, the less value it has. So it would be less than something that is to the right of it on the number line. This is equal to, I know you know what that one is. This one is greater than. Greater than. And that is the same thing. It says the numbers on the left are greater than the numbers on the right. So 10 is greater than 3. 0 is greater than -4. Whoops, sorry about that. 0 is greater than -4. This example is combining the 2 things we just talked about, absolute value and comparison symbol. So what you need to do is evaluate each of these separately and then compare. So what is the absolute value of -3? How far away from 0 is -3 on a number line? Well, it's 3 spaces, but to the left. And how far away from 0, or the origin, is -1? Well, it's 1 away. So now compare 3 compared to 1. 3 would be greater than 1. that's it for lesson 1. Make sure you have all that in your notes, and I'll see you in class.